So we're going to talk today. Yesterday, I spoke about how to cure autoimmune disease. Something I wanted to also add into that from yesterday was where do you actually get autoimmune diseases from? Where is your lifestyle? Where does it come from? Where does all these things come from? And I spoke candidly about your environment, your culture, and your upbringing. So, what I want you to understand is that you have two minds, you have two brains, and these things are programmed by different factors. All right, so we're going to talk about what those factors are. Okay, so say you have a relationship with someone, and this is pretty common in this day and age. Why this is so common is that everyone seems to have somebody, some partnership that they are in love with, somebody that they cherish, that they spend time with, and you don't understand why you keep getting into arguments with your partnership. I'm here to tell you why you get in fights with your partnership. I'm here to tell you where this stuff actually comes from. For those of you that know me, by the way, I'm Fidelis Snook II. I am the founder and CEO of the Alkalign Lifestyle Institute for Quantum Healing. And what I do is I detoxify your cells and I also reprogram your subconscious mind. Both of those things are imperative to you being able to maintain, elevate yourself to become the best version of yourself that you want to be, that you desire to be. And this is how I go about the process of doing it. This is a mind, body, soul elevation for you. It's not just where you got to take care of your mind. You take care of your mind and your body, and then your soul. All three of them have to come from the same time. When you elevate one, you elevate the other ones. Okay? Because that triangle, you can look at it as mind, body, soul. You can look at it as sound, frequency, and vibration. It's the same thing. Father, Son, Holy Spirit is the same thing. Okay, it's a trinity. And you look at these things based upon three dimensions that we're living in. So you have two minds. One mind is conscious, one mind is subconscious. Here are the facts between this conscious mind and subconscious mind. This is a key for you to understand. 5%. What does that 5% lead to? What does that mean? 5%. That means that 5% of your day you are working in the conscious mind. 95% of the day, however, you are working in the subconscious mind. Yeah, that's how it works. Now, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind can be defined as the prefrontal cortex. This is your thinking brain, the brain where you actually make choices and decisions, and you may go outside, see a billboard or like a phone, a brand new purse, a brand new house. You go to an open house, you want to go see something and you like it. You're like, I want that thing. I desire that thing. Wishes and desires are the conscious mind. This is the issue, though. I just told you guys that somehow, some way, your mind is split from the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So your wishes and desires that you are desiring to go get, can you actually go get them? You can only get them if these things are in harmony. If your conscious mind is in harmony with your subconscious mind. What does that actually mean? That means that you can go from thinking, you can go from your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, from thinking to doing to being. That means you see something that you want. You say, that's something that I want. I'm going to go get that thing. I'm getting that thing. Literally, you actually make it a point to get up and take action so your actions are in unison with your thoughts. This is how it works. If your actions are not in unison with your thoughts, the thinking may occur, the doing will not occur. The being sure will not occur. And this is why this happens. It's just because in childhood, let's understand about how childhood traumas really work. What do they do? What do the childhood traumas do? And believe me, everybody's got childhood issues. Are they traumas? Not necessarily, but some kids were beaten. Some kids were hit. And let me tell you why I believe that's the case. Because trauma is actually physical stress. So here is what I'm gonna talk about. Let's talk about stress. Stress. So you have stress in the conscious mind, you have stress in the subconscious mind, but where, how does the subconscious mind actually get programmed? Say you are in a relationship and you come home for the day, right? And you just gotten in a relationship with a new person. First 2 weeks, everything's going great. You're on that honeymoon effect. Everyone's madly in love with each other. So you're in love, the other person's in love. Y'all have just been, everything is good. Got a great thing going on. All of a sudden, you come back home. You ask your partner a question, man or woman, woman or man. You ask your partner a question, and he or she goes, "What you asking me that question for?" And just blows up at you, like instantly, like just blows up. You've never seen this out of the person before. You don't know why this person's responding to you to that in that type of way. You don't know what's going on, and you're like, "Okay, is everything okay? Like, who are you? You ain't been like that this entire time. So, like, what's going on?" And they like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just have a long day. So on and so forth. Everything is fine." You say, "Okay, maybe a red flag, but so far everything's been good. So, I'm just gonna let it go, and everything is good. Most of the time we have a good thing going, so it's good." Maybe like about 2, 3 weeks go by, and all of a sudden it happens again. And now it's like, oh wait, I think I see a patterning in this. So you stop, you ask your partner, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And they can't actually answer you because they don't know what is an actual problem. They can't see that they're acting in a way that's erratic or sporadic or angry. They can't see that. The issue as to why they can't see that is because, say you grew up in a household, harmonious household, quiet, everybody was authentic, everybody was vulnerable, everybody was honest, everybody spoke up for themselves, everybody said what they needed to say, they shared what was on their mind, no one hid anything. But your partner grew up in a household like there was a tyrant in the house, like mom or dad walked around and they were angry all the time, and everybody was walking on eggshells, and they were just afraid all the time. They grew up like that. They were programmed from 0 to 7 years of age to understand that this is how parents interact, how adults interact. This is how love is supposed to be. You didn't see that, but they did. So now, because of that, you're sitting here, you're like, wait, like, what am I supposed to do? Because this is the thing. The word that we're going to use today is a key word, and it's called resonance. The word is called resonance. Now, y'all understand that everything is vibrating. Everyone who is in any way, shape, or form somewhat in alignment understands that everything is vibrating. In a world where everything is vibrating, what does that actually mean? That means that if you walked out and you saw a person on the outside, they have an energetic field that can range from about 9 meters all the way up outside of them, a torus pattern. And the way that that field is in resonance and in harmony is that resonant field is literally in harmony with whatever is in vibrational alignment on the same frequency as that individual. So, resonance is defined as the quality and the sound of being deep and reverberating, meaning meaning the frequency, it's a phenomenon where the frequency, phenomenon where the frequency of one object the frequency of an object matches the frequency of a system. So when you're in resonance with something, you're in harmony, you're matching up with the frequency of a system. Here's where this gets interesting. Say I put situations and I say, so I have, okay, so here's how I'll describe that too. I am vibrating. I have a vibration, a vibrational alignment, a vibrational stamp. My frequency is what I'm teaching, okay? The mind of your parents. Whomever is inside of my live stream right now, I I usually have my camera turned so I can't actually see you guys at the moment. But you guys are on the same frequency as me. That's why you're in this room with me. You're in alignment with what I'm talking about and what I'm saying. I'm in alignment with speaking it, presenting it to you, the information. We have to be in vibrational harmony in order for us to be entangled with each other. If we're not in vibrational alignment, we would not ever be here together. You would never be able to see me. I can never be able to see you. So, if you realize that the things that you're attracting to your life are in resonance with you, this is what I want you to understand. The conscious mind directs you like you're driving your car. Look at your body like a vessel, and you're driving that vessel to wherever wishes and desires you want to go to. The issue is that throughout your entire day, only 5% of the time do you have the hands on the steering wheel driving you to where you need to go. Because what happens is, remember that example about the relationship, when somebody came home and they were talking to their partner, and all of a sudden they started snapping at them. That person, for the time of the duration, what they started thinking, is no longer driving the car anymore. Because when they're thinking, somebody else is now driving the car. That means an automatic response is driving the car. Where did the automatic response come from? In resonance, I'll give you three situations. We're talking mainly about relationships today. So I'll say here can be resonant A, which is date night. Then you can say resonant B. You can say argument. And you can say resonant C, divorce court. Okay, now here is this, how I'll describe this. Say you grew up in a harmonious family. Everything was great. Everything was always good. Everyone was always kind. Everyone was always supportive of each other. Both of your parents showed unconditional love and gratitude and appreciation towards each other. You never had to be concerned or worried about if they, loved each other or hated each other, nothing. You had not to worry about nothing like that. You grew up in a household where the environment was peaceful, was calm, and just was wonderful. Great, fabulous to be around. Okay? What that means is that from ages, and this is how we're going to describe this. Excuse me while I put my grounded cord on. You guys know about me and my grounded cord. If you guys come to my live streams before, y'all know I'm steadily always grounded because I enjoy how it feels. Get my electrons throughout the day. So we'll talk mainly about how do these frequencies come about. Let's talk about that. So your conscious mind going towards wishes and desires 5% of the day. But when is your subconscious mind actually programmed? Well, this is record playback. So when you look at the subconscious mind, it is recorded in ages 0 to 7 years of age. When you're born, when you're born, all the way through age 7, you are at what's called a lower brainwave state. This is what that means. Your subconscious is programmed. Ages 0 to 2, you're in delta. Delta is deep sleep, okay? Deep sleep. When you are a toddler, most toddlers are always sleeping because they're tired, because they're building themselves, they're growing. From ages 2 to 4, you're going to be theta. That's going to be hypnosis. You're being hypnotized. From 4 to 6, you're going to be in alpha. That's daydreaming. And then you're going to be 6 on up. That's beta. Active consciousness. We are exhibiting beta right now. Active consciousness. Okay? So you have delta, theta, alpha, and beta. I'm not talking about fraternities, and I'm not talking about sororities. I'm talking about brainwave states. Okay? So from delta, deep sleep, you are building yourself. You are growing. From theta, 2 to 4 years of age, you're in hypnosis. And 4 to 6, you're in daydreaming. Beta, you're in active consciousness. This is called childhood programming. But this actually starts even before age 0. This starts at conception all the way through birth because the placenta is what holds the hard drive of information that's transferred from mother to the child. Now, like I just described to you, I said you have 3 situations. A, you have a date night. B, you have an argument. C, you got divorce court. Say you grew up in a household where all you knew was fighting. All you knew was someone coming at somebody else's neck, somebody coming at somebody else, because that's how they were taught to express love. What do you think when you grow up as an adult are you going to gravitate towards in terms of resonance? The date night, and I'll put romantic date night, and I'll put angry argument, and I'll put fighting divorce court. Which one do you think you're going to be in if you grew up in a household where all your mom and daddy did was argue and yell at each other? Most likely, you're not going to go towards the romantic date night. You may go to the angry argument, or you may end up really in resonance with the divorce court fighting, solely because of the resonance that you're in. The system that you grew up in only taught you how to see and experience negativity. You never learned how to love somebody. You don't even know. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to support nobody. You never did it before in your lifetime. How you gonna tell somebody that you know how to love them? You don't. It's impossible. It's like telling somebody who's literally divorced, going to go ask them how to have a harmonious relationship. Going to go ask a single person how to have a harmonious marriage. They're not married. Most people in this day and age are not married because they came from situations where they weren't happily married. They didn't understand what that actually meant. So the majority of people who you're going to see are in resonance with fighting and divorce court. They didn't love each other in the first place because they did not choose to love each other in the first place. This is the other thing. So, your subconscious mind is controlled based upon the emotions, the doing and the being, the emotions, and then the habits. You never actually go into the prefrontal cortex to think about your wishes and desires because there's no way to get them because you never actually activate this part of your brain. You live in the subconscious mind, meaning you live in the rear view mirror. You're only looking back at what's going on. So, say, in the case of disease, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about disease. If your parents had, let's put for instance, diabetes, that's a common one. Diabetes, cancer, what else? Alzheimer's. They had depression. They had anxiety. They had, let's see, what else could we think of, y'all? So, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, depression, anxiety, lupus. I'm just naming out. All autoimmune diseases occur based on the same systems and deficiencies. So, and ways of thinking. It's really, really common. So you grew up in a family where your mom had diabetes, your father had cancer, or your father had Alzheimer's, your mom had depression, anxiety, so on and so forth. She was pregnant with you. So all of a sudden you downloaded the gene expression for diabetes, the gene expression for cancer, the gene expression for Alzheimer's, the gene expression for depression, anxiety, and so forth. You downloaded the information. Those habits and behaviors. These things occur based on lifestyle. They don't occur from some magical gene that causes cancer. There's no gene that causes cancer. There's no gene that causes diabetes. There's no gene that causes depression, Alzheimer's, anxiety, lupus, so on and so forth. There's no gene that does that. There is, however, lifestyle circumstances that you control, that you control, and you control them now. It's not this got nothing to do with anybody else now. It's got everything to do with just you. These factors are within your control. But the issue is that you refrain from present thinking, wishes and desires, and you go based on your habits and behaviors. Let me tell you, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, New Year's. Don't you go to everyone in the family's house and they cook up a plate and you go passing out food and then every year you eat the same thing? You eat the same thing every year for the same event every time. If it's somebody's birthday, you go get the cake. If it's somebody's wedding, you got this whole gathering. If it's um, Memorial Day, you got the barbecue, something. It's going to be relatively the same because that's just how people think based upon habitual thinking and childhood programming and environmental factors. What if this concept now occurs with stress? Stress. Here's the star. Here's the key word. Because stress is the key to autoimmune disease. This is the key. You have two systems, parasympathetic, which is relax and repair. And then you have sympathetic, which is fight or flight. Fight or flight. What's happening to people is based upon their programming that they got from early childhood. They either live in relax and repair or able to turn on relax and repair simply just by activating parts of their brain or they live in chronic stress, fight or flight. It's like PTSD. It's like they've gone to war and they've gone to go fight on the front line. And they don't understand why they're feeling this type of way, why they're walking around and you're seeing people so stressed out and you're wondering why? What's going on? Well, this is because of their emotions. Their emotions. What are emotions? Emotions are the record of the past. Your brain, your brain's job, your brain's job is to connect outer world with your thinking. Here's the kicker. I just told y'all that the conscious mind is present thinking. 5% of your day, you're in present thinking, meaning you're going from thinking to doing to being. If you can get to the point where you can get your conscious mind and your subconscious mind on the equal playing field of resonance, you go from thinking to doing to being. If you cannot do that, your brain connects your outer world with your thinking, which is past thinking, 95% of the day. 95% of the day, your brain is working in opposition to your wishes and desires. It's working in unison with your habits and behaviors. But I just told you guys, based on resonance in A, B, and C, your habits and behaviors didn't come from you. Your habits and behaviors came from ages 0 to 2, 2 to 4, ages 4 to 6, and 6 on up. Your habits and behaviors came from childhood programming, environmental factors, and culture. Let's talk about that culture, that good old word called culture. That's where your habits and behaviors came from. You are not actually you. You asked your mama and daddy a long time ago, you said, "Who am I?" And they said, they either told you two things. They told you, "You're the most wonderful, the smartest, the most genius, the most beautiful, loving child in the entire universe." That was one side. Or they told you, "You're just Michael. You're just Sarah. You're just my son. You're just my daughter. I don't know who you are. I don't know." Or they were angry at you and they said, "You're not deserving of this. You didn't do a great job." Because the majority of subconscious programs, 70% of them have been proven to be negative, limiting beliefs. So instead of you saying, "Who am I?" and them saying, "You're the most wonderful child in the entire universe," they told you, "You are not worthy of my love right now. You ain't doing a great job. You're too late. You ain't following my directions. You ain't following my instructions. You need to sit down somewhere. You need to stop talking when grown people are talking. You need to stop being disrespectful." Like, you know what the fuck disrespectful even means? This is what parents have a problem with: communication issues. They don't understand how to build a bridge of connection between the young person and themselves. They talk to a young person like they're the damn basketball coach or the football coach or the track coach, not coaching. Okay, you're guiding, you're mentoring, you're sending somebody some success cues. You're helping somebody to become their actual true self. You're helping somebody to become the person that they desire to be. You're helping somebody become the person that God sees them. You ain't telling somebody to become what you want them to become, but that's the problem. Most parents don't even know that they're making copies of themselves. So you had a parent that grew up and they were a worker against their will the entire life. They worked at a job that they couldn't stand. They never made the money that they wanted to make. They never got the house that they wanted to have. They never got the vacations that they wanted to take. They never got to treat their family the way they wanted to treat them. Because what happens was they never learned how to get what they wanted in life because they never asked for it. Because they never asked for it, They never got it. They got exactly what they asked for, which was the life that they actually got. How do you know what subconscious programs that you have? Look at your life. Look in the mirror and look at your face. Look at your body. Look at your life around you. You have a beautiful home. You have a harmonious home. You have the cars that you want. You have the money that you want, the relationship that you want. Are you single and are you lonely? And do you have a bunch of stuff outside but nothing on the inside? Are you emotionally unavailable? What is it? Just be honest with yourself. Whatever you are, whatever you see, whatever you have, whatever you're experiencing, that is the subconscious programs. Because if you don't have something that you desire to have, it's because you don't have a program to go get it. You don't know how to go get it. You don't know how to go get it. And you never told yourself you know how to go get it, so you never found an answer. So ultimately, what happens to people is they sit there for years and they have literally the same emotions, which are the record of the past, as the person that they came from. You never even went through the traumas. You never even went through the emotional heartache. Somebody else did, but they passed it down to you, and then you grew up in that emotional heartache. I have a client, she's a wonderful human being, same age as me, 42 years old, single mom, right? Master's degree, bachelor's degree, went to school, did everything that you thought would have been right to have a successful life. But unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way for her. Didn't pan out that way for her. She struggled with anxiety really bad and depression really bad. And she just got over changing her lifestyle, lost a bunch of weight, is doing a wonderful job, putting herself in situations where now she can be a better person and a mom for her daughters. But the people around her are cancerous people because of the simple fact they have. There's two things I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna put two people, A and B. All right, so you have two people. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Actually, I'll put on the side. So here's A, here's person A, here's person B. What she has is she has this energy wave that's coming out. Person B that is around her in her environment has this energy wave that's coming out. These energy waves are going and they're not meeting. This is called destructive interference. What does that mean? That means they are not in resonance with each other, with the system. You want to have person A with this wave, and then person B with this wave. That makes this. This one makes +1 +1. This one equals 2, which is a larger wave. This one cancels out. This is called constructive interference. How many people in my live stream right now have come from environmental factors of negative people? You grew up around people who were negative. You grew up around people who were sick, grew up around people who were broke, grew up around people who were angry, grew up around people who were suicidal, grew up around people who were blaming and shaming, and they never took accountability for themselves, grew up around people who were too afraid to be vulnerable. You grew up around people who always had a reason. They always had a reason, always had some problem, some issue that was a result of the outer world, and they blamed the outer world. Why is it that they did that? Because they had wishes and desires. And they went out into the world thinking because they were using their prefrontal cortex to say, I want to be a millionaire. I want to have a happy, harmonious relationship and family and a beautiful home and a farm and my kids and everybody's just happy and healthy and we're entrepreneurs and we got our own business. And I want to have that. I want to have that. But they went out into the world and their brain was connecting their outer world with their thinking. But because they were only 5% in their conscious mind and 95% in their subconscious mind, they were thinking in the past based upon their emotions, their records of the past, their habits and behaviors that were recorded at ages 0 to 7 years of age by observation and childhood programming and environmental factors in their culture. That's what the quote that says, product of my environment, actually means. You're a product of your environment. And that's what that means. So when 70% of those programs that you got are negative programs, all of a sudden you're not in parasympathetic relaxation and repair. Your lifestyle is not conducive of a healthy body and a healthy mind. It's conducive of a sympathetic fight or flight response that's now going to give you diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, depression, anxiety, lupus. And what you're going to do is you're going to end up broke, sad, sick, lonely by yourself. Instead of going on date nights, romantic date nights with your partnership, you have arguments, angry arguments, and fighting divorce court. All because instead of having good vibes, constructive interference that builds your energy waves, you have destructive interference that takes away your energy. That's why. Not in the conscious mind, you're in the subconscious mind. That's what happens to people. So now, if you understand what I'm talking about, you understand that you never were yourself. You never actually got to wake up and say who you really were. It didn't work. So, what you got to do is cleanse the cell of the memory, cleanse the cell of the records of the past, and then you reformat the cell and you program the present thinking, wishes, and desires so that your brain can connect your outer world, with the way that you're thinking. You change the habits and behaviors. And what you do is you do this by a concept of repetition. Repetition. How do you learn something after you are programmed? Repetition. So you practice it. It's called positive present tense speaking. Speak in positive present tense. You may be a sad person, but you need to say, I am happy. But when you say I am, which is God is anything, anything after I am, put you into a new destiny, a new path, a new roadmap for success. So you always use the words I am. Never say anything negative after I am. Don't ever say I am tired, I am broke, I am hungry. Don't ever say things that I am weak, I am stupid. Don't say things like that. You say I am genius, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am handsome, I am beautiful, I am genius. Say things of empowerment to say God is, and you will become that. Also meditation. Whenever you get into a low brainwave state, you can do this. You can play, there is an app on your phone called Sonic Tuner, Sonic Hertz Frequency Tuner. You can play the frequencies of 0 to fall asleep for relax and repair, and up to 4 hertz to get into theta, hypnosis. 4 to 7 is going to be alpha. These are actually hertz frequencies that you can get your brain into based on binaural beats. What you can do then is play affirmations, positive affirmations, or record yourself saying your own affirmations. And you play them while you're asleep. Whenever you're sleeping, you're in the subconscious mind. So this is sleep. This is active. Conscious mind is active whenever you're awake, like where we are right now. Sleep is subconscious mind. You got a connection. If you can focus on these two things, meditation, to reprogram yourself using delta and theta and alpha, slower brainwave patterns overnight, and repetition, which is positive present tense thinking and speaking, play things that you are going to see as conducive to your actual wishes and desires. That's what's going to help you. Now, I offer a 12-week beginner cellular detoxification program. If you guys are interested in cleansing your cells out and becoming the best version of yourself, click look at my profile. You will see my website. You guys can go to apply to work with me. Okay, the investment is $12,000 over the course of 3 months. You split it up into payments. You can pay $4,000 at a time, or you can just pay it all in full. But what happens is you have a replenish and awakened formula that comes to you to help you to reprogram your cells and clear out the past emotions. And then I help you based on every 2 weeks you have a call with me, and I help you to get over the past thinking, habits, and behaviors and get you into the present way of thinking so that you can achieve your wishes and desires. That's an option for you to take. So if you guys are interested, again, click on my profile. Also, opening up is going to be my Become More Alkaline School, where you guys can go in and see all my live streams, presentations where I present these things and download these classes and sessions for, I think it's the investment of 197 every month. I put out 2 videos every week with guidebooks and summaries you guys can learn. Also, you have access to a manifestation guide, gratitude journal. So I'll teach you guys about how to eat properly, recipes and food, and also ways for you guys to improve your energy levels and just get into a better mood. Just have a better lifestyle. We're not gonna get you guys out of being sick, out of being stressed. But this is why you're the mind of your parents. So hopefully you guys understand this. Send it to somebody who needs to hear it. And like, share, subscribe, for my channel, and then and that's it. I'll see you guys later. All right. Love y'all. Peace. Send me all of y'all questions and everything. The app that you guys are listening to or asking about is Sonic Tone Generator. You guys can also get, I think I have a presentation on my profile on my page talking about frequency and sound. I'll post it and I'll pin it to my page so you guys can see it, so you guys can be able to download. 432 hertz and 528 hertz players are also available too. Those apps are free for you to get, but Sonic Tone Generator, just go to Hertz Frequency Generator and you guys will be able to find it. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything for it. You just go in there, you download it, and then you guys can copy these frequencies right here, and you guys will understand just how to use it.